Hi.
What's going on, guys? CAS
okay.
Reflection 1, Koh Tao vlog.
Yeah, so essentially what we've seen throughout this place is the drastic effects of tourism here in Koh Tao. It's a relatively small island, about approximately 19 kilometers squared.
Just to give you some context, we just went to see the pollution site and the trash site on the island.
So there's about there's about 1 million tourists that come into Koh Tao every year, give or take.
According to a lecture.
Yes, according to a lecture that we had. And all these tourists go to stores like 7-Eleven multiple times a day. So if we account for that, there's, let's say, at minimum 1 million bags. 1 million things like plastic bags, cardboard, plastics in general that just are wasted.
Used daily.
Yeah, and then it's just all cycled into this dumping ground, and it's just left there to rot with food and fester and things like that. And this plastic really causes drastic environmental effects.
And there are incinerators, but apparently it's broken down.
Yeah, and it costs too much money to fix.
Yeah, nobody on the island wants to actually do anything because they're not actually doing anything to try and fix the incinerators, which will solve the problem a tiny bit, although not that much because it's a pretty serious problem.
There's no efficient management system. However, the stores and the 7-Elevens have implemented a no plastic bags policy with the help from the diving shop.
Yeah.
So it has reduced the waste some to an extent, but there's still a drastic amount of plastic being produced, and no one's really investing energy into
really helping this problem, because in order to at least come close to a solution to this problem, it has to be like a somewhat large-scale effort. And for this to happen, there's got to be participation from larger groups, dare I say, even larger than the place we're staying at today.
Maybe governmental or oil.
Yeah, exactly, governmental or even oil companies, because for example, plastic bags is a byproduct of petroleum. So if oil companies could really scale back on that, even though it's a big ask and maybe a bit too optimistic, it's probably a somewhat viable temporary solution.
Just saying that it's also really important because it's affecting all the villages that are here, and it's not their fault that all of this plastic is here. It's all due to the tourists that come by, and therefore the villagers have to live with this huge amount of trash and then right next to them, and it's absolutely horrifying, and the smell is horrible.
Even though many first world countries have implemented systems to manage plastic bag production and usage, like I've seen a lot of supermarkets in Australia have reusable bags that you can buy and completely banned plastic bags. But I think the support really needs to go to the more rural areas in third world countries, because that's where the effects are most frequently occurring and
prominent as well.
Yeah.
And especially with areas like Koh Tao,
destroying beautiful islands.
It can't last for much longer.
Yeah, for example, there's an amazing view here that will very likely be ruined by the amount of trash that there is. So this has been our first CAS Reflection, I believe, for Koh Tao interim. So
Adam,
we'll see you on the next one.
First day, by the way.
Yeah, Adam, Max, and Raph. Yep, bye.
See you.